Hello everyone, I'm Skratch. Welcome to the channel. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Guys, guess what? Plarium actually sent me a love letter. Can you believe it? Check it out. So, it's actually from Plarium addressed to Skratch, their favorite content creator. So, that's pretty interesting actually, but leaving the joke on the side because it's not an actual love letter. I'm not receiving any of those, by the way. Basically, in here, we have some clues, okay? Some clues about whatever is coming to the game next. The next big feature. Now, I'm definitely very curious to find out what exactly it is. I just gotta find out the clues, basically. So I have this small envelope in this big envelope, right? So it's kind of like that game with the box, you know? Like, you're getting a present, it's a massive box, and you're just downgrading to smaller and smaller till you're losing your freaking mind. Well, hopefully it's not going to be the case, but in this one we actually have something as well. It seems to be a card with a hero. Okay, looks to me like an orc, so gonna try to show it to you a bit, guys. It's kind of like the OG type of card, you know, where you're swapping shapes, forms. I'm not sure how you call them, basically, but I don't know how clear it is. Okay, there we go. So you see you have the hammer and then you're swapping around and bang, you have a hammer and a sword. And it's changing the whole thing. So I don't know if it's a hero with a skin, but on the back, it says that we have mythical heroes coming to the game. That's absolutely crazy. And I'm not even sure if in a good way or a bad way. Can you imagine the power creep? The power creep is real. Now I do have the name of the champion and it's Gharol Bloodmaul. And is a mythical champion rarity, affinity spirit, and is a HP/attack based champion. Similar with Rotos or Mountain King. Imagine if he's as powerful as Rotos. That would be just crazy. Maybe even more powerful. Like what? We have all the heroes that we have in the game, multiple rarities, and each one of them definitely steps up the game quite a bit. So the legendaries, they have some of them, they have freaking 20 passives and 20 skills compared to other epics, right? And damn, mythical heroes, man. Mythical heroes. Could you imagine how crazy that would be? Like how powerful they will be, those heroes. And probably very hard to get as well. But we're gonna scan the QR code, guys, to see what exactly is happening. Now, judging by the fact that we are getting mythical heroes coming to the game, I would expect us to get mythical skill tomes as well, which is crazy. Mythical shards, right? Probably, or something like that. We actually talked about it ages ago because there is a picture from Plarium where Gallic is holding two shards. It looks like an ancient and a sacred, but the sacred really looks red, you know, kind of like a mythical. And we all thought like a year ago that mythical champions are coming, so maybe that's what it is. But right here is a QR code, guys. There's the link right here. Let's see what is happening. Mythical shards coming to Raid, guys. Check this out. Looks freaking awesome. Love the color. Looks so dark. Similar with the souls, you know. Awesome stuff, man. I don't know what to think about prices and all this. I feel like I don't want to think about it now. We're gonna leave that on for another video where we're gonna discuss everything a bit more in depth, and we're gonna kind of like think about the consequences of this sort of power creep. What does it mean for Raid Shadow Legends? But can we click on it? Seems like we can. So we're about to summon our very first mythical champion. I keep want to call them mythical legendaries. The animation looks pretty sick. The portal looks new as well. Damn, we have skills. We have a story here. Jesus, we have so many things and the skills. Look at that. Ooh, that is awesome. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total with the aura. Shame we cannot see the base stats. Or can we? Can we see the base stats? That's something that I'm very curious to see because if there is like a massive difference from the legendaries, you know, it's pretty crazy. So, Gharol Bloodmaul, mythical. The story of Gharol begins in the bloody months of slaughter that followed the failed invasion of Karoak by the Gallant Pact. So it's kind of like a bit of lore story. You're going to be able to see it on the side right here. It's actually quite a bit of story because we have like 7 different pages. 7 different pages of story, you know. So it's basically telling us everything about the champion. I feel like if I'm gonna read all this, I'm gonna end up with a 25 minutes long video, you know. So I'm just gonna slowly go through the pages, and you guys can check it out for yourself as well. I tend to be a pretty slow reader, you know. So it's kind of like the lore for the champion. It's nice that they actually have the lore in here directly, but it's a lot of lore. I'm curious more what's this thing here keep glowing in my face, you know. But we're gonna click on it in just a second. Maybe something to do with the way it swaps skins or whatever. Doesn't look like skin though. Looks like, I don't know, light and dark sort of vibe in there, right? Does it look like they're like two different sort of affinity sort of stuff? Not really affinity because it's spirit, but looks pretty interesting. So these are all the stories, guys, the lore, you know. Let me click on this because it's glowing. It's glowing and it's attracting my eye. What is this doing? Ooh. We just change shapes, man. We just change shapes. This reminds me of something like in King Arthur, like changing the weapon sort of vibe, you know? Okay. Okay, so now we're back at our... And are the skills changing as well? Oh, wow, the skills are changing too. Crazy. Jesus, so you're gonna have to upgrade all this for each one of the heroes. What's this button doing here? Anything? No. Okay, let's start with the initial form. Wow. Let's start with the initial form and go through the skills. More important than the lore, in my opinion. I've never been a lore person. Apologies if you guys are interested in it, but I left everything on the side so you can read it. So with the A1, Foe Crusher, I would assume this is the A1, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the target by 2 turns, also removes any shield buffs. Interesting skill. The A2, attacks all enemies, places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn, also places an unkillable buff on this champion for 3 turns, on a 4-turn cooldown, the Hammer Quake. Interesting. Then, Bonded by Blood, removes block buffs debuff from all allies and places an ally protection buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff on all allies equal to 30% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. Interesting. So far it doesn't sound too powerful, you know. Then Metamorph transforms this champion into their alternate form, then grants an extra turn. Holy moly, guacamole, what is the alternate form? It must be the other thing that we've seen. So our forms, that's how they're called, and different skills for their forms. Wow. Then the passive, when attacked, decreases the duration of all buffs on the attacker by 1 turn, occurs once per hit, also heals all allies except this champion by 50% of the damage taken whenever this champion is hit. Occurs once per hit. And we have a HP aura for all battles, 35%. Now this one right here seems more like the HP base part of the champion, right? Like nothing in here sounds like attack based champion. So it must be something to do with his alternate form, because this skill right here, Metamorph, sounds pretty damn nasty. Okay, let's see the alternate form. The animation is awesome though, like how it transforms. Looks so cool, huh? And again, this is an HP aura, so nothing to do with attack by the looks of it. But with the A1, attacks all enemies, has a 20% chance of repeating the attack. This, I think, will be the first champion in the game that will have a AoE attack and 20% chance to repeat the attack. Curious if it will be coded like Fushan and the rest, you know. Then the A2, attacks all enemies. Damage of this skill increases by 10% for each buff on this champion. Okay, very nice. Will ignore 30% of the target's defense. Ouch! So it's kind of like a Taras, kind of like a Seer, but with a Savage set integrated in his kit. Damn nasty. The more buffs on the champion, the harder he nukes. And I actually like the affinity being Spirit, you know? Not many strong magic champions. Wow! Nice, nice, nice stuff, man. That's actually a nice skill. Then the other skill transforms this champion into their base form, then grants an extra turn. So basically you can transform back and forward and just gain extra turns. That sounds pretty damn powerful. And the passive, whenever an ally attacks, this champion has a 25% chance to team up with them and join their attack. Damage increases as the champion's HP decreases, very similar with Leorius, by 1% for every 1% of the HP loss. Wow. I said wow quite a few times, right? But this seems like a very, very interesting stuff, man. I don't know how to feel about it, guys. Like, the power creep is real. I'm actually a bit worried about it, man. Like, mythical champions coming to raid. Like, I feel like we've always talked about the next step in champions. Then we got empowerment, we got awakening, we got faction guardians. And that created such a massive gap in between players, regular players, whales, and krakens, okay? And I don't know how to feel about this just because of it, you know? Like, I don't think it was necessarily to come already. Maybe they're rushing a bit things with all these additions to the game, just power creep, power creep, power creep, power creep. It really depends on how accessible these champions will be. The actual shards, because you've seen the mythical shard in there, and how high will be the chance to summon one of them, how many will we actually have in the game. I've played other gacha games where we had something like this, mythical heroes, right? Most of them have them actually, so I'm not surprised that Platinum decided to bring them to the game. It's just most of those games have like 5 to 10 mythical champions, more or less, and they're usually not really something that you go and purchase, you know? It's not something that, okay, I'm gonna buy these shards, I'm gonna summon them now. You earn them through events, you're earning fragments through events, you're earning them by completing the game, basically, by beating everything that's super hard in the game. So it all depends on how Platinum decides to approach this thing. Is it gonna be something like the Prism Crystals, where you only buy them and basically that's your way on doing it? Or is it gonna be something like the regular shards, which it should be, and you can actually save the shards, you know, and just go and summon whenever you can, basically. Maybe, who knows, maybe the new clan boss will actually add that to the game. So we're gonna return to this in just a second once my Fire Knight run is done, but I'm curious if we're actually gonna be able to just get them, summon them. I hope so, without just buying them. So it shouldn't be just extremely pay to win. Hopefully, that's kind of like my thing here, and that's where my concern comes from. You know, like, how is it gonna be, man? How is it gonna be? I love the new portal. Looks really dark. Kind of like reminds me of the Souls and stuff. Reminds me a bit of Diablo, which I'm definitely a fan of. But yeah, how do you guys feel about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited to get mythical heroes? I definitely think they will become the strongest champions in the game, right? Like, the legendaries already have quite a big advantage compared to the epics and stuff. Are we gonna get empowerment for mythical heroes too? Or that's something that's not gonna happen in the near future, or maybe never gonna happen, or maybe in 2 years from now, or something like that? I don't think it's gonna be needed. Are we gonna get more places in the faction guardians because of mythical or anything like that, which doesn't necessarily make any sense whatsoever, you know? But you never know what to expect. But we're gonna go back right here. I think we're definitely gonna get mythical skill tomes 100%, because they're mythical heroes, and just, you've seen 2 different forms. Imagine how many skill tomes you need for one mythical hero, guys, right? To use books on all those skill tomes is gonna be nuts. And yeah, maybe the Dark Void is the big PvE content coming to the game at the end of the year. Maybe we're gonna get mythical shards from this content. I surely hope so. Or maybe from the new Hydra difficulty. Or maybe we're gonna get a Nightmare Doom Tower or something like that. Hopefully, they're gonna be accessible. That's pretty much everything that I gotta say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Are you excited or not? I'm not sure how to feel yet, because I gotta find out more details about how this will be implemented to the game. That was all for the video. Much love, appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.